What's going on, guys? It's KW here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day today. This is now the fourth time that Bitcoin is attempting to break above and hold above $24,000. Now, what happened today? Well, we did have the CPI reports, and although it was technically up 8.5% year to year, it did come down from last month's previous CPI, and in fact, they were anticipating it to be around 8.7. So it was even lower than what we got today, which is why you actually saw we had the S&P open above all the resistance. Look, for multiple days, we were sitting here under this resistance right here. And today, as soon as we got that news at 8:30, markets opened at 9:30 Eastern time, and we did have that happen. And on top of that, look at this, guys. Remember how we talked about the parabolic trend for the DXY, for the dollar, finally looking like it was going to break down? Well, look at this, guys. Not only did we break down from this parabolic trend, we got rejected here at the resistance, which was sort of trying to be that support in the blue zone, and this previous resistance right here, we have completely fallen through. And as I'm making this video, you can see solid candle. The dollar bull run is potentially over. So in today's video, what I want to talk about specifically is what exactly to expect from crypto. We do have some very, very, very critical levels upcoming for almost all of crypto, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of the altcoins. What should we expect? I was calling for a potential 2-month rally for Bitcoin a few weeks ago, and as you can see, we've been pumping ever since then. So we're going to talk about that, and I also want to show you guys a shocking new crypto survey that came out. Usually we talk about the institutional investors. Well, this actually involves the retail investors, and there was a new Bitcoin revolution, invention, creation, whatever you want to call it, that could literally be an absolute game changer for Bitcoin. And also, our good old buddy Mike McClone is still saying that Bitcoin is going to $100,000, and it could go there even sooner than you think. So if all that sounds good to you guys, you know what to do. Slap a like on today's video. At least we finally got some decent news today with the CPI. Now, there is still the PPI tomorrow for the the producer's price, but most people pay attention to the CPI. So I would say that for now, we're definitely out of the water. Get subscribed if you haven't. Let's dive in. Let's have a look at what's going on right now in the Bitcoin chart. Now, I have talked about the fact that we did have the minor capitulation, and we are still holding above the 200 weekly moving average, and it would be the third week if we are able to hold above that sort of $22,900 area, and, probably could be signaling, guys, that the bottom is in. In fact, another quick indicator before we get to the trades, I wanted to give a shout out to Ali Martinez, who pointed out that the sequential indicator, the TD sequential indicator, presents a buy signal at the key support area. So you could see right here, that's also signaling to us that it was a good opportunity. We also had the market cipher weekly green dot, which we've only ever had 3 other times before. That signaled as well. And pretty much ever since that point, the Bitcoin price has been moving to the upside. And we also got above the 89 moving average. We do have RSI curving the other way on the monthly. We did close above the 50 monthly. And currently, this is what I'm really waiting for, getting back inside the bulk of this EMA ribbon. You can see right here, once we get back inside of it, that's usually good. You can see right here, actually, almost the bottom of it was the bottom of this market. Dipping below it is pretty crazy because we really don't tend to ever go below it very long in Bitcoin's history. So I would say that as soon as we get a nice close right up here, currently that level is sitting at $24,469. That would close us back inside the ribbon. And I would basically say that, the game is back on. I would say that the bull run now has legs and it does have potential. Now, why are we unable to break above this? Well, you could see right here, very, very critical resistance. If we come all the way back here and see what that resistance coincides with, it's actually this little area where we had this pump through this resistance acting as support. And this was way, way, way back in December of 2020. And you can see right here, this little bit of consolidation, right? So, fast forward all the way over here, and you can see that's why we're consolidating there. So what I was showing you guys was the fact that we essentially had this triangle, right? This was a giant ascending triangle. We tried to break out, and eventually we did break out. Now we're having an even more extreme version of it, a smaller, faster moving version of it right here. Same thing, ascending triangles are bullish, so you do tend to break out to the upside. Do be careful, there's always the possibility of little fake outs here and there, but ultimately it is a bullish pattern. And, if you just have a look at what we're doing right here, we are still putting in higher lows and higher highs. What you don't want to do, though, is you don't want to lose this structure right here. So you don't want to go lower. Like, let's say Bitcoin had a sort of quick flash crash, over the next couple days. You wouldn't want to go below right here, which is sitting at around that $20,700 level, because if for some reason we were to come down to this level, not only would we fall out of this, legacy support right here, but it would also be lower than this pivot low right here. So I would say as long as Bitcoin essentially basically can just hold above that sort of, $20,600, $700 area, then I still think that we have the next target at some point, because we have even retested this right here, right? The next target would be around this $25,800 level, with my ultimate at around 26,600, right? That's not even including the CME futures gap. So how would you trade that? Well, we already are in a trade. We've been trading it since down here. We took a trade on the heart line. We didn't go all in though, right? Because there always was that possibility that we could have came down lower. But if we do get confirmation on this breakout, which essentially would be breaking out here, coming down, retesting it exactly, right? So we're retesting this previous level, and then we start to move to the upside. Well, then yeah, I do think that the next level would bring us up to around that $25,800 level. And if you guys do want to learn how to trade, you want to go over everything A through Z, beginner to expert, make sure you guys check out my BitGet tutorial. It's popping up above, and there's $6,888 in bonuses below if you guys use that link. Make sure you get subscribed to the channel. We go over these levels every single day so you can learn how to trade, and you can also watch the videos, because as we can see right here, this is basically like a spring just coiling up and coiling up, waiting to break through this level right here. And you can see how significant this blue zone is. Not only did it act as the top of the area for the Terra Luna crash, but now currently the bottom of the zone is acting as absolute resistance. So we are going to break through this eventually, right? As long as we don't, lose these two supports right here. It's the same thing like if you're jumping on a trampoline and you're jumping on it, eventually what happens, it gives out and you fall. Well, this is the reversal, right? We're not falling, we're not punching through the floor, we're actually punching through the ceiling, right? Same thing. So, you keep hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, eventually you do break through, right? So keep your eyes on that, and also keep your eyes on that CME futures gap, because that's the ultimate gap right up here, and that is the target of 28,856. Now, of course, that is the smallest percentage chance, right? Because it's the highest level, but it still is a possibility. And historically speaking, we do always close the CME futures gap. Another thing I want to point out, we're only in the middle of the week, but the overall crypto cap has broke a very important downtrend. And if we can hold above that, even though it's not the biggest, most sincere, ultimate trend, right? The biggest trend would be this level right here. So really you'd have to go all the way up to about a 1.62 trillion cap to break out of there. So, just to give you a perspective, the entire crypto market would have to pump 44% as a whole. That would be quite a big move for the entire market. But if we were to do that, that would pretty much signal that we are back into the bull run. So we're not getting that just yet. I'm not going to say we're back in a full-on bull run, because we're not. We're still in a downtrend, but I'm starting to see things in the charts that I like. And also, I want to talk about this study that came out. So a recent study posted on Civil Science revealed that about 55% of crypto investors have actually held on to their digital assets in the past week. Now remember, we were seeing a lot of people selling, right, that had gotten in the past year and a half. They thought they were going to chase it. They thought that Bitcoin was just going to go to the moon. They were going to make all this money. Price started going down. They had weak hands. They sold for, a lot of them sold for a loss. Well, recently, that's not what we're seeing. Around 45% did decide to sell most of their crypto investments, with 26 selling everything, but the remaining 20% opted to sell only a small portion. So, in feedback provided by over 4,466 respondents, consisting mostly of retail investors, which some people say is the dumb money, but hey, let's be honest about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. This was the first place in which retail actually had, and still technically does have, opportunities to get in before the institutions, because even though we have some of them in, we don't have the big players. We don't have the big sovereign funds. We don't have really the guys that are waiting, the old wealthy money who's waiting for that spot Bitcoin ETF. So we, as the retail, still have the possibility and the option to front run these guys. So very rare you find that in markets, but they say around 78% didn't budge or insisted that the crisis didn't affect them, meaning that they either just stayed in crypto or in fact they bought some more, which is why Mike McClone thinks that Bitcoin, it's only a matter of time until we go to $100,000. The energy spike is providing its own worst enemy with macroeconomic implications that may buoy gold and help Bitcoin transition towards a high beta version of the metal and treasury bonds. So he still has his sights set on a $100,000 Bitcoin when, well, he doesn't give a timeline, but he says that it's only a matter of time that we continue to shift towards this digital narrative. Oh, and just for all the haters out there, not you guys, but you know there's always someone that's like, oh, what if there's an EMP? What if the internet goes down, right? Okay, well, we've always heard these things. Well, guess what, guys? Bitcoin without the internet is now possible. SMS service is allowing people to send Bitcoin via text. So we had this guy over here, they call him KG. He says a person literally with no internet access can go from having no Bitcoin to having Bitcoin and then go to spending Bitcoin, right? An innovation using the cellular network GSM could potentially onboard millions of Bitcoin users previously unreachable by the internet-dependent Bitcoin protocol. So this is happening over in South Africa, but obviously the innovation, the technology is global. Anyone would be able to use this, but you could see down here, here's an example. And, he does show this clip in the video right here where he's doing it with not only a smartphone here, but he's also doing it with like one of those old sort of flip phones. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you guys could essentially see that they are sending and receiving Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. So if you guys want to check that out, you can, what's his name over here? Run with Bitcoin. You can check out Run with Bitcoin. You can also check out some of these other videos. But yeah, guys, Bitcoin can now officially be sent. You can see right here, received 10,000 sats or roughly 0.0001 Bitcoin via an SMS message. So there you go, guys. Bitcoin innovation continues. And now it doesn't matter if we lose the internet because we can still send it via text message, okay? So let's talk about some news and let's get on out of here. So Coinbase has released a report of its financials for the second quarter, posting a $1 billion loss. Across the board, the Trouble Exchange fell below its target for the quarter. The company has blamed the crypto winter that has ravaged the entire industry for over 2 months. Or Coinbase could just blame the fact that they have the worst customer service on planet Earth and they should stop banning and closing down people's accounts and then not getting back to them. I would love to give you my money, Coinbase. I would love to trade, but you don't let me because you shut my account for review and you won't allow me to appeal for it. So maybe that's why you're not doing so well and people are moving to other solutions and options. Just saying, just throwing it out there. But speaking of, so you guys may have heard about what happened with Tornado Cash, and obviously there was this big thing about how it was used for money laundering and the US does not want US citizens using it. Well, it looks like an anonymous user is continuing to send small amounts of Ether from a Tornado Cash wallet to public addresses of prominent figures, ranging from celebrities to crypto CEOs, presumably in a way to protect against, or to protest, I should say, against the U.S. Treasury's decision to sanction the mixing service. Meanwhile, Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin has publicly admitted that he has used Tornado Cash, but it was for good uses. It was to protect the people he was sending it to. But you can see right here, Fat Man Terra, he pointed out some of the people that have received Ethereum from these mysterious wallets include Jimmy Fallon, Shaquille O'Neal, Puma, Randy Zuckerberg, Logan Paul, Brian Armstrong, Steve Aoki, Ukraine crypto donation address, Dave Chappelle, and Beeple. So I don't know what's going on with that. Obviously, they're doing it as a protest, but it's not their fault. I mean, if somebody just randomly sends you Ethereum from a mixer, obviously they need to look into that, but clearly that's not their fault. So that is it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And of course, now that we are in, potentially structuring into this uptrend, there's a few more hurdles that Bitcoin and Ethereum and crypto do have to break through. We will see also what happens with the S&P when it closes. But if you guys do want to get that market cipher, it's actually pretty good if you're using it in, I like doing it for like very defined trends. So if we get a breakout, it's very good for telling you really good moments for buying the dip, you know, a good area for that. Market Cipher B is the one that I prefer, but you get all four of them if you're interested. That is below in the description. And also make sure you check out the BitGet tutorial, the #1 BitGet tutorial on the internet. If you guys are looking to trade, start with a paper account. Don't go in with anything, you know, big. Don't put in more money that you want to lose or you can't afford to lose. And make sure that you get subscribed, hit that bell notification. I will keep you updated on everything happening in crypto, in the charts. Thank you so much. You guys rock. Make sure you check out this video popping up right here, right now. My name's K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.